Alright guys, we are back for more of my 2026 Easter special. We just did a game of Family Feud Decades for the Nintendo Wii, and that was pretty fun, but unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the win on that, as we were just short of the amount of points that we needed to go to Fast Money, but we still tried our best, that's all that really matters. So, for our next segment, we are going to be playing Jeopardy for the Nintendo Wii. Let's see how we're going to do on this game.
Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone.
So like always, we'll do easy difficulty, and here we go. And as of the time that I am recording this, we actually currently have a very impressive player on Jeopardy that is doing very well on his run, and his name is Jamie Dane. And right now at this point, as of the time that I am recording this, he's basically won 26 games in his run, which is really, really good. And from where he stands, he's actually in the top 5 on the all-time win list on Jeopardy, which is really, really nice. So I do think it's really cool for what Jamie Dane has been doing lately on Jeopardy right now, as of the time that this is being recorded right here. But we'll have to see how long his run could go on for like this. But anyways, let's see the categories for the Jeopardy round. Fish and chips, parts of speech, the old country, TV nostalgia, you're an animal, and in the bookstore.
A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 1, make a selection. While pointing the Wii remote at the screen, press the A button to select a clue.
Let's start with the old country for 200.
Here's Kelly to start us off.
Shown here on the upper right, it changed its name in 1935.
Player 1, use the Wii remote or...
What is Zambia?
And
No.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess?
So already we're off to a bad start.
The correct response is Iran.
It was Iran that we needed. Alright, that was going to be my second guess too, but at least it's early. Let's go to the old country for 400, please.
It was Siam until 1939. Okay, player 1.
What is Taiwan? No!
Anyone else?
Still not doing too well early on in the game because I got the first 2 clues wrong.
Here's the response we were looking for. Thailand.
It was Thailand. And just like the first clue, it was going to be my second guess. Alright, the old country for 600.
Until 1972, it was Ceylon. Let's hear it, player 1.
What is Sri Lanka? There we go! Now I got that one right, and that puts me out of the hole. Alright, the old country for 800.
It was the Khmer Republic from 1970 until 1975. Yes.
Alright, let's see what Samuel says. Cambodia, and that's right.
Player 3, back to you.
The old country for 1,000.
Until 1975, it was the Malagasy Republic. Here's the correct response. Madagascar.
It was Madagascar. Okay.
Choose again. Player 3.
Fish and chips for
The
200.
variety of this fish is sharp-toothed and can be vicious if provoked. Okay, player 1.
What is the eel? I got it. Fish and chips for 400.
But the ability of the members of the family Exocetidae to get airborne earned them this two-word name.
I'll try it.
Yes, player one.
What is the flying fish?
Yes.
Got it. Alright, fish and chips for 600.
Player one. Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
On this man's first voyage, brothers Martin and Vicente Pinzon commanded the Niña and Pinta.
I'm not quite sure on this.
Here's what we wanted. Christopher Columbus.
It was Christopher Columbus. Okay.
We returned
Fish and
these
chips for 800.
Small freshwater fish of the family Pterophyllum are known by this heavenly name. Here's what we were looking for. The angelfish.
It was the angelfish. Okay. Fish and chips for 1,000.
Built in 1816, the first private yacht to cross the Atlantic shared its name with the barge of this queen.
I don't quite know what it is.
We're talking about Cleopatra.
It was Cleopatra. Okay.
Player one.
Let's go with you're an animal for 200.
Get along, little this. The word for a motherless calf. It's player one.
What is a doggy?
That is
Alright, I got it! Alright, you're an animal for 400.
Kelly.
The giant panda seen here isn't playing the flute. He's snacking on this, his favorite food.
I should know this.
Let's hear it, player one.
What is bamboo?
Right.
You're an animal for 600.
You again, player one. Scientists are scrambling to find out the cause of colony collapse disorder, which is occurring with this insect. Player one.
What are termites? No.
Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Bees.
Yeah, it was bees that we need. I should have went with that. Oh well. You're an animal for 800.
A condor is a type of this bird. It's related to the turkey type and also enjoys eating carrion. It's player two.
Alright, Kate's gonna say a raven, and that's not it.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this?
Alright, I'll try it since it is 50-50.
Okay, player one.
What is a vulture? Got it! Alright, you're an animal for 1,000.
Player one. The plains variety of this animal has gray markings that are known as shadow stripes.
I'll try this one.
Player one.
What is the bison? No.
Anyone else? Here's the correct response. The zebra.
It was the zebra. Oh, should went with that one. Oh well. Alright, let's go within the bookstore for 200.
Fever, 1793, depicts a teen's struggle during the 1793 epidemic of this colorful fever in Philadelphia. Let's hear it, player one.
What is yellow fever?
That's correct.
In the bookstore for 400.
You get to pick again. Ahab's wife tells a whale of a tale about a character mentioned briefly in this classic novel. Yes, player one.
What is Moby Dick?
That's it.
In the bookstore for 600.
Choose again, player one. Hope Was Here is a book about a teen waitress at the Welcome Stairways Diner in this dairy state.
Oh, I know this one.
Let's hear it, player one.
What is Wisconsin?
That is correct.
In the bookstore for 800.
Select again. Take a bite out of the Vampire Armand, the 6th book in her Vampire Chronicles. It's player 1.
Who's Anne Rice? In the bookstore for 1,000.
We return to a secret code called New Shoe is pivotal to the plot of Snowflower and the Secret Fan, set in this country.
I don't quite know this.
Here's what we were looking for. China.
It was China. Okay.
Choose
Let's go to
player
TV
one.
nostalgia for 200.
In an animated 1987 TV special, this space-age family traveled back in time to meet the Flintstones. Yes, player 1.
Who are the Jetsons?
That's correct.
TV nostalgia for 400.
Select again. In the pilot for this 60s sitcom, Jed and Jethro first meet Mr. Drysdale when he comes to get them out of jail.
I'm gonna try this.
Player 1.
What is the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yep.
That's right! Alright, TV nostalgia for 600.
Player 1. The 1973 TV season gave us Richard Roundtree as this super cool private eye he'd played on film.
Alright, let's see what Samuel says. Mannix? Nope.
Any other takers?
Alright, 50-50 right now, so I'll try it. Who is Rockford? No.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response?
So that's gonna narrow it down for Katie.
Player 2.
It was Shaft that we
Good
needed.
to you. We return to you, player 2.
Parts of speech for 200.
Dream when you're feeling blue. Dream. That's the thing to do. Dream. Let's hear it, player 1.
What is adjective? No.
Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. A verb.
It was a verb that we needed. Okay.
You again, player 2.
Parts of speech for 400.
Rodney Dangerfield said, "When I was born, I was so ugly, the doctor slapped my mother." Ugly. Okay.
Alright, Samuel says adjective. And now was the time for it. Okay.
Player 3. You pick again.
Parts of speech for 600. And there's the Daily Double.
It's the Daily Double. You're in second place, so what?
Alright, Samuel was going to wager 1,000. It's the most reward he could do right here.
Reno just to watch him die. In.
He says preposition, and he got it right. So that puts him up to 1,600.
Pick again.
Parts of speech for
We
800.
know you're very smart, but are you smart enough to know? Very. We're talking about an adverb.
It was an adverb. Okay.
Player 3, back to you.
Parts of speech for 1,000.
So when you're happy, hooray, or sad, aw, or frightened, eek, or mad, rats. Hooray, aw, eek, rats.
Now this one I'm going to try.
It's player 1.
What are interjections?
You.
Got it.
You
Alright, TV nostalgia for 800.
According to his theme song, Mr. This will never speak unless he has something to say. Okay, player 2.
Katie says Bill. Nope.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response?
I'll try it.
Let's hear it, player 1.
Who is Hyde? No.
Any other takers?
So Samuel's gonna get this one.
Yes, player 3.
It was Ed that we needed.
That's right. Good.
So now there's a tie for the lead right here. This is looking pretty interesting. Alright, last clue.
In the 50s, this movie Tarzan was still hanging out with a chimp, but he wore more than a loincloth as TV's Jungle Jim. Here's the response we were looking for. Johnny Weissmuller.
It was Johnny Weissmuller. Alright, so like I just mentioned, me and Samuel are currently tied for the lead at the end of the Jeopardy round. So Katie gets to select first in double Jeopardy since she's in last place. So let's see what the categories are. Country cookbooks, statues,
Edgar
Allan Poe,
the
essence of things with S in quotation marks, flora,
and
American history.
All right, if you're ready, it's double Jeopardy.
Alright, then essence of things for 400.
Player 1.
What is the sheath?
Yeah.
That's right. Alright, the essence of things for 800.
You'll be a contender if you know this term for a boxer who jabs with his right. It's player 1.
What is a scraper? No.
That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is a southpaw.
It was a southpaw. Okay.
Player 1.
The essence of things for 1200. And there's one with 2 daily doubles.
Answer. One of the daily double. You're in second.
Alright, I'm currently $400 off the lead. I don't really think I feel comfortable risking it all. I'll just do half of it and do 1,000.
Here is your daily double clue. The deliberate destruction of property or equipment by resistance fighters or enemy agents.
What is subversion?
No.
No.
We're talking about sabotage.
Oh, a sabotage. I was kind of thinking that, but I was not sure. I should have went with that. Oh well, at least I didn't risk it all right here, so that's at least a good thing. Alright, the essence of things for 1600.
Old school inhalant to give you a nicotine rush. Let's hear it, player.
Alright, so Samuel says snuff,
Right.
and that's right.
Select again.
The essence of things for
The
2000.
Urdu for soldier, it was an Indian native who served in the British Army in the 1800s. Here's what we wanted. A sepoy.
It was a sepoy. Alright.
Player 3, back to you.
Floor for 400.
In the wild in Mexico, this Christmas plant, Euphorbia pulcherrima, may grow to a height of 15 feet. Yes, player 1.
What is poinsettia? Got it. Alright, let's go to floor for 800.
The ponderosa is one of the most widely distributed American species of this conifer. Player 2.
Case says fir,
No.
and that's not right.
Any other takers?
Alright, let's give this a shot.
Okay, player 1.
What is redwood? No.
Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct
Our game is just all of a sudden going downhill at this point. This is really not looking good. So Samuel's going to get this as we are looking for pine.
You get to pick again, player 3.
Floor for 1200.
Methusa sinapium is known as poison or fool's this herb. Don't put it on your potatoes. Yes, player 2.
Kay says parsley, and that's right.
You again, player 2.
Floor for 1600.
Here's Kelly with the clue.
The moss seen here, also called vegetable horsehair, is best known by this national name.
Here's the correct response. Spanish moss.
It was Spanish moss. Okay.
Please pick again, player.
Floor for 2000.
A variety of this state tree of Mississippi is the cucumber tree, which gets its name from the shape of its fruits.
Don't know it.
Here's the response we were looking for. The magnolia.
It was the magnolia. Alright.
Player 2. You pick again.
American history for
This
400.
famous transaction in 1803 doubled the territory of the U.S. It's player 1.
Was the Louisiana Purchase.
Right.
American history for 800.
We return to you. In the 1760s, he and Charles Mason used milestones to mark the boundary line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. Player 1.
Who is Jermaine Dixon?
Yep.
American history for 1200.
Player 1. The Watergate scandal led to the resignation of this U.S. president in 1974. Okay, player 1.
Who is Richard Nixon?
Right.
American history for
You
1600.
again, player 1.
And there's the other Daily Double.
And sir, the second daily double.
Alright, we have a chance to try to take over the lead. I will try 2000.
Answer this. In the 1830s, some 4,000 members of this Indian tribe died during a forced march known as the Trail of Tears.
Oh boy. This is going to be a tough one. Was this Ox? Oh, I was wrong.
The Cherokee.
We were looking for the Cherokee.
Player
I had a feeling I was going to get that wrong, all because that was going to be a tough clue for me to figure out correctly. But it is what it is. American history for 2000.
And here's Kelly.
In Portsmouth, New Hampshire, you can still see the home of this real-life orator, who in a famous story out-argues the devil.
Here's the correct response. Daniel Webster.
It was Daniel Webster. Okay.
Player 1.
Alright, country cookbooks for 400.
Fit for a King is full of his favorite recipes, including the chicken served at his wedding to Priscilla. The correct response is Elvis Presley.
It was Elvis Presley. Okay.
We
Country
return to
cookbooks for 800.
The Little House Cookbook features frontier foods from this woman's classic stories. Here's what we were looking for. Laura Ingalls Wilder.
It was Laura Ingalls Wilder.
You
Alright.
get to pick
Country
again.
cookbooks for 1200.
This daughter of Maybelle Carter honored her mom by writing Mother Maybelle's Cookbook. Here's the correct response. June Carter.
It was June Carter. Alright.
Choose again.
Country cookbooks for 1600.
You'll find Goober's Banana Pudding in this Mayberry Auntie's book of delightful desserts.
Let's see what Katie says. Aunt B. And that's right. And she's out of the hole.
Select again.
Country cookbooks for
There's a
2000.
recipe for Butcher Holler Possum in Your Cooking It Country by this country music queen.
Hmm. not quite too sure about this.
Here's what we wanted. Loretta Lynn.
It was Loretta Lynn. Okay.
Player 2, back to you.
Statues for
A
400.
sower atop Nebraska's state capitol in this city is tossing seeds to the Great Plains 400 feet below.
I'm gonna try this.
Okay, player 1.
What is Omaha? And that is not it.
Anyone else?
Oh boy, this is not looking too good for me at this point.
Let's hear it.
Alright, what's Samuel gonna say? Columbus? No.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this?
So Katie's gonna get this one.
Player 2.
We were looking for Lincoln.
You got it. Please pick again. Player.
Statues for 800.
Blue Earth, Minnesota has a definitely giant 55-foot statue of this pea pusher. The correct response is the Jolly Green Giant.
It was the Jolly Green Giant. Okay.
Back to you for
Edgar Allan Poe for
According
400.
to an 1833 description, Poe dressed entirely in this color.
I'm gonna try it.
Yes, player 1.
What is black?
That's
And
it.
that's right! Alright, Edgar Allan Poe for 800.
Poe's wife, who passed away at age 24, had this name, like the state at whose university Edgar studied.
Try this one.
It's player 1.
What is Virginia? I got it! Alright, Edgar Allan Poe for 1200.
The first obituary of Poe, which spoke of the frailties of genius, appeared in this city's Sun newspaper. Yes,
What's
player.
Samuel gonna say here? Baltimore? And that's right.
Player 3. You pick again.
Edgar Allan Poe for
In
1600.
1842, Poe reviewed this British author's Barnaby Rudge, which features, a human-like raven.
Samuel
Okay.
says Alexander Pope, and that's not it.
Any other takers?
Alright, let's go for it.
Let's hear it, player 1.
Who is Charles Dickens? And that's right! Okay, Edgar Allan Poe for 2000.
Poe won an 1833 short story contest with a story about one of these found in a bottle. Player
What does
2.
Katie say?
No.
Bible, and that's not it.
Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this?
I'm gonna go for this.
It's player 1.
Oh. What is a manuscript?
Good for you.
I got it! Glad I picked the right one, and now I'm in the lead with $5,400. Alright, statues for 1200.
Sam Houston stands 67 feet tall along Interstate 45 in this state.
I'll try this.
Yes, player 1.
What is Texas? And that's right! Alright.
You again.
Statues for 1600.
Kelly will present this clip.
A statue of this discoverer of Florida stands near the street named for him in St. Augustine.
I don't know this one.
Here's the response we were looking for. Ponce de Leon.
It was Ponce de Leon. Alright.
Now let's take a look at that $2,000 clue.
Alright, let's go to the last
In
clue.
2003, a statue of this man was pulled down just a year after it had gone up to mark his 65th birthday. Here's the correct response. Saddam Hussein.
It was Saddam Husseini. Alright.
Sorry, player 2.
Alright, we're going into Final Jeopardy now, and Katie's the only one not moving on, all because she's in the hole. Alright, let's see what our category is.
Category. Musical.
Musical history.
Please enter your
Alright, so we don't quite have a runaway right here, but we still have a possible chance to win this right here. I'm gonna go with 1500.
Each direction on the plus control pad represents a different response. Press a direction to select an answer. The final
Alright, here's the clue.
is as follows. It's the nursery rhyme that inspired the title of a famous musical based on a 1913 George Bernard Shaw work.
Oh boy. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm gonna say, what is Humpty Dumpty?
Did you come up with the correct response?
Alright, Samuel said Humpty Dumpty. Is he right?
Sorry,
No.
response will drop your score by...
He was 2605, bringing him to 1395.
What did you say?
I said Humpty Dumpty, but we know I'm wrong as well.
And that will set you back.
I risked 1500, but thankfully I still win the game with $5,100.
We're talking about...
It was the London Bridge that was the correct response. But what is important is that after a very tough game that we had, I'm glad we were still able to come out on top as the winner. Sure, it's not a whole lot of money that I was able to win right here in this game, but it's still worth something. So we're going to take home $5,100 right there. But either way, I still am proud I was able to get that win, like I said. So anyways, that is going to do it for Jeopardy for the Nintendo Wii as part of my 2026 Easter special. But we still have some more games to play, and I will see you all for the next segment right after this. So stay tuned.